Wicks seemed to have a little bit of a look that time. Ferguson coming up. There's Ryan. Sandwiched. Sydney leading 14-8. Out wide is Mayers. Tackled by McWhirter. On halfway, Taylor to Robinson. Defending hard as ever. Ross Gibson underneath there. Bridge to Mayers. Gives it on to MacArthur. And that could have been a forward one. Bridge has given it away to Anderson, who'll score under the posts.
Yes, it was a forward pass. MacArthur slipped it away and seemed to go forward to me.
It's another try to the Sydney side. The referee was right alongside it, so let's see it again. It's Bridge who reversed it.
Back to Mayers.
Now,
Mayers
watch this pass
MacArthur
from here. We could have been deceived by the angle.
Yes, although I think it was probably about a yard forward. And, Chris Anderson, the captain, has come in for left his wing, and you can see it's a winger's game, really. Of course, we've had Ferguson score one and set another one up for Michael O'Connor, and we've had Gary Wicks make a good run down the right flank, which could have been a try too.
It was O'Connor who added the extras, and here it is from head on, that last try. Mayers gets a good pass. Well, you saw it. The score now is 20-8. Ferguson running it out. Sydney in fair control of the game now with that last try. It's Ryan.
Well, Steve Ellis certainly doesn't want to take over the goal-kicking responsibilities. Michael O'Connor doing it. I don't think Michael O'Connor's ever kicked a goal for St George. Anyway, there's the country stolen the ball.
Wicks.
Off City, and it's Wicks charging to the line.
Very strong, that man on the wing. Mightn't have the pace, but he can bust them. Gibson, the try scorer for country. Lying all over him. Right at dummy half. On to Martine. Close, close, close. Can they get over again? Ward. McWhirter. Right goes.
Yes, he's just short.
Last tackle for country. McWhirter, bustled. Manages to squeeze it back. Brokenshire's got it. Slips it.
It's a try.
Could be a try here. Out to Wicks, who's in. Well, it was a bit messy,
yes,
but they got the ball out.
It was all on the sixth tackle, of course. They were trying to get a kick away. Put up a bomb. Obviously, Johnny King must have said at half-time that they should be putting up bombs on the last tackle. And finally, it was found a hole out on the right.
He looks to be going nowhere there. Martine slipped it away. Forward over the top. And Wicks slid in. We're going to have a replacement or two while this kick's going on. Elwyn's got a very awkward shot. So far in the game, Roy Masters, any country players that have really caught your eye?
Most certainly. Rex Wright, I think he's had an outstanding game. I think Ross Gibson has played very well too, and Gary Wicks is a good finisher. It's just that unfortunate that he could be a little bit quicker. But I'd say those three probably the best players on the field for the country team.
Here's Elwyn's kick. Looks all right. It's through.
It's a goal.
A beauty. So that's 20-14 now. Just 6 points in it. And here again is that scrambled start to what was well finished off for country by Wicks and Ford. That's Brokenshire from the Willumbar brothers. Back to Martine.
Of course, Willumbar are going to be represented by Ross Conlon in the first grade game as well.
Just 6 points then between the teams. Kick-off goes deep. Donnelly's grabbing it and running. A knock on.
That's a bad blue, that one. Knocking on in dummy half on the second tackle.
So over 20 minutes left in the game. John MacArthur from West speeding the scrum. A penalty goes to the Sydney side. Loose arm in that country front row. That's Johnny King on the right, the coach of the country team. Had that great win in the AMCO Cup in Western Division in 1975, which everyone recalls, apart from his playing days with the Saints in Australia. So Sydney trying to work something after a tap. MacArthur holds it up, fancy stuff. Finds Stephen Folkes up the middle. 10 metres out. They're 6 points clear at the moment. MacArthur to Ryan. Stopped by Harry Hogan. Anderson. Grapple.
Michael O'Connor's playing like a centre and a winger. Chris Anderson very, very rarely outside him. Anderson being captain, of course, is spending the entire game around the ruck.
Bomb from MacArthur. And it's dropped. And it's going to be a penalty against one of the country players for a late tackle on MacArthur. No, I wouldn't mind seeing that again. He seemed to go down and stumbled well after he kicked it. Let's watch it. There's the kick. And he got a little touch on the shoulder. It was knocked on there, as you can see, but there was a penalty for playing the man after he kicked it.
He charged him after he kicked the ball. Fair enough decision.
And you're going to see that versatile St George player, Michael O'Connor, have a shot at goal.
Yes, he's impressing me. Of course, we've got Steve Rogers out with a serious hamstring injury, but Steve Guerin's kicking for us. But an injury to Steve Guerin could see Michael O'Connor kicking.
Around the corner. He pops it. So another 2 points makes it an 8-point lead for the Sydney side now. So O'Connor quickly into action when he came on the field. A try, 2 goals.
Yes, he's doing well. It's a pity he hasn't got Chris Anderson playing outside him. Of course, Chris being captain is almost inextricably involved with the rucks.
Trying to beat it out towards the touchline. Ryan juggles it. And Brokenshire comes in right on the quarter line. He's into it again, the man from the Willumbar, making another tackle. Bolt onto Robinson, taking him ball and all, high up. Peter Ford in there with Martin. MacArthur sets it up, it's loose. They've still got it, but there was a knock on. So just over 18 minutes to go. Get someone else on the field now. Looks like Ward's off it. New half back in there. Gibson. A couple of replacements come on for country. Ray Spur's out there.
Yes, during that goal kick. Ray Spur, of course, is from Barradine, formerly a... yes, another one.
Gibson. Gibson scores his second try.
Oh, gee, slipped the ball up.
Rex Wright.
Well then, Rex Wright.
A bit of lazy defence there. They capitalised on it. And here's how it's tapped. The well started and it was finished by Gibson for his second try. Just before he bites the dust.
Very well done that. He went to go to ground to the left and managed to swivel his body and slip the ball up to the right. He very athletic, very good in the way he stepped out of this tackle too.
Very rangy hooker, Rex Wright, good runner, and a lovely little pass.
Been an interesting game, hasn't it? Really fluctuating.
Well, if he puts this through, there'll only be 2 points between them. This is from about where Neville Elwyn kicked a goal to convert Gary Wick's try a few minutes ago. So the crowd is seeing plenty of tries in this second half. And swinging in, he's got it.
He's got it.
A late-in swinger.
Well, that puts 2 points in it now.
What a kick. So it's 22-20, and plenty of time left in the game.
There's one poor old country player that hasn't got out yet, number 29, Richard Douglas of Burke. So Richard would be very keen to get out there, and so too would the Burke people be happy to see him.
Wicks. Martin. McWhirter. Tackled by
Robert Taylor's out on the field too at the present time, and he is a very good organising player. He's the captain coach of Lakes, I think it is, in the Newcastle district, and he's a good organiser, and I think that the country's team will benefit in a close game like it is at the present time with having his leadership and distribution skills around the rucks.
It's Hogan. Back to Martin. Gibson slips.
He's going to take the first pass off the ruck now, Taylor.
Switches it to the blind side. Onto Brokenshire. Oh, an awkward little one there. Ford couldn't handle it. So we're about 35 metres out from Sydney's line. They're going to feed the scrum. MacArthur puts it in, and it's a penalty to country against MacArthur. He didn't put it in the tunnel, the one that he was supposed to put it in. So another chance for country to bore away at Sydney's defence.
Yes, well, if they have a good tap, and with Taylor out on the field now, I've got a tremendous amount of respect for Taylor's ability. I'm surprised that he hasn't been selected higher up, although I suppose age is a reason why he hasn't. He's probably about 27 now, Robert.
So we're 10 metres out from Sydney's line. Country 2 points behind. Wright takes the tap. They charge at the line again. A metre or two out.
He's through.
Wright's over. He's in. Rex Wright has scored from dummy half, and country have hit the lead. Burrowing away at the defence.
He's very excited too, Rex.
It was simple. Bit of help?
Yes, well, he was an unintentional shot, but of course he went straight through at the feet of the man playing the ball, and he selected the side where only Jeff Robinson was. He goes the other way, of course, and there were two defenders there.
Well, what a fillip for the country boys, and no doubt for many of the viewers watching this telecast in New South Wales country areas and Queensland.
Well, I think it's a good result the way the game is at the present time, because I really believe that the better side has been the country team. And, now that they've hit the front, and with about 13 minutes left to play.
Here's the conversion. He's got it. Well, Neville Elwyn has been inspired. Last 3 conversion attempts have gone through. He's got 5 from 7 to give country a lead now of 4 points. There's the try again.
And of course it makes one wonder whether Newcastle should be in the Sydney competition with a player like Rex Wright scoring a try and another Newcastle one, Neville Elwyn, converting it.
So country run it out from the kick-off. Played by McWhirter. Ford taking it. Mares in there for the tackle, along with Tobin. Taylor gets it out to Spur, I think he's on the field. Ray Spur out there.
Yes, Ray Spur from Barradine, formerly with the Penrith club.
Inside pass. Martin plays it back to Spur.
Yes, the country team are quite happy to play it in the forwards. We haven't got too many backs out there at the present time. So Taylor is definitely an organiser. He's putting them all into position.
Last tackle, kicked ahead by Elman. He chases it, but MacArthur's got the ball. MacArthur about 35 out from his line. That's Paul Mayers. So Country lead by 4 points. Glenn Ryan, Country offside. And it'll be Gary Bridge to kick for touch. Well, we mentioned before some of the Country players that had impressed you. What about the City side?
Well, I think that they haven't sort of played with any consistent pattern. Of course, Frank Stanton's got a double problem when he's got to coach both the first and the seconds, and you sort of see that the seconds players haven't really played together very well. The change of halfbacks at half times changes everything too, because the halfback being the organiser in the first half, of course, they've had Chris O'Sullivan, and now they've had John MacArthur in the second, and they played totally different ways. MacArthur more concerned about turning it back in, whereas O'Sullivan was looking to feed out wide. Michael O'Connor, I'm watching him, he's hardly had the ball at all in this half.
It's a penalty against Mayers. Holding the defender down on the ground. So Country, you get another 10 yards for back chat.
Yes,
It was Tobin again.
That's that habit of Chris Anderson's. He tends to question the referee from time to time, and the man from the Country is not going to stand for it.
Barry Priest from Orange, the referee out there today. This is what happened in the tackle. Melbourne, after another 10, found touch. Gary Wicks, the big man on the wing. So Country driving it forward again. There goes Rex Wright. They've got Sydney backpedaling at the moment, especially up front. Gibson, what a strong game. Wright's in there at dummy half,
yes,
only
they've
12
got both sides of the field they can attack from here. They had a good line out to the left, and good blind side move to the right.
Robinson versus Brokenshire there, almost broken. Hogan.
There's an overlap, the first overlap that the Country team have had, and unfortunately they put it down.
Spur losing it forward there as it went out towards McWhirter, the 5'8". It's playing out in the centres now. Or Elwyn, rather, in the centres. McWhirter is still in there at 5'8". That's Spur, Ray Spur, 28 in the centres. Country have had most of the ball in this game from scrums and penalties. Put across the scrum. 8.5 minutes left. Country lead 26-22. Richard Douglas about to come on the field, the boy from Burke. Robinson, held up by Martin and Wright. Tobin drops it on the blind side. There'll be another scrum.
Yes, with under 8 minutes to go, and the score 26-22. And the way in which the Country team are playing at the present time, I think they're going to hold out for a win.
So Douglas goes on. Douglas goes in as hooker, and Rex Wright.
Yes, by far the best player on the field. I can understand John King's predicament. He had Richard Douglas as a replacement, and he had to give him a run. He's a hooker. unfortunately, he's had to take the place of the best player on the field.
From the Country penalty after the scrum, Elwyn finds touch, and so they're on the move again. Inside Sydney's quarter here with another attack. Douglas. Forward. Oh, it's dropped there.
That should be a penalty, that. Yes, it is. He held him back. There's no doubt in the world that was the correct decision.
Held Taylor back?
Yes, he was in a supporting position, and the City player held him back. Chris Anderson's come in to question it, but you have a look here. It's Taylor with the ball, and the supporting player is held back. Sorry, it was the supporting player, Taylor, was held back. So this penalty goal by Neville Elwyn should give the push them 2 further points ahead, and that really should clinch the game.
Well, he's been right on target for most of this second half. John Tobin has just left the field. So Sydney with all 4 replacements out there. They have been for a while.
Well, of course, the bloke who's taken Tobin's place was out there in the first half too. So it's a very liberal use of replacements.
Replaced and then replaced.
That's right.
They need a bit of zip for the last few minutes to stay in this. Well, there's Elwyn kicking straight again. So Country further ahead, 6 points clear. Just over 5 minutes left in the game. And a good lead for the boys from the bush.
Well, the boys from the bush are the only way. They're not going to get beaten now. They're going to come up with a win or a draw. A converted try, of course, will make it a draw, but I don't think it'll work out that way.
Now, a player who came back on is Chris O'Sullivan, I think.
Yes, well, that's what Frank Stanton's looking for. He's looking for a quick, nippy break from the dummy half position to, to score a try between the posts, which O'Sullivan can do. He can score a try all on his own, running from dummy half or wrong-footing a tired defence.
Well, there's a knock-on in there. We're going to have another scrum. I'm just trying to work out who it is who came back on. Tobin went off. They sort themselves out in that scrum. Folks has been out there for most of the half. Well, Sydney have got the ball. Back to Bridge. MacArthur's in there at half. O'Connor, a long ball out towards Ella. Ray Spur up very quickly to try and stop him moving. And it's a penalty against him. Holding on. And so a chance for Sydney to drive it back towards Country's line. They're running out of time now. Just over 4 minutes left, with Country leading by 6 points. Bridge finds touch. Ferguson. Well, he scored 2 tries. We're involved in a couple of tries in this game. He may be yet involved in another. There's Ryan brushing off a few. Back to Folkes. Working their way up towards the line here. Played forward by Folkes. Tries to toss it. It's loose. Offside? Nope. No. Knock on. So another scrum. Coming up towards the 3-minute mark. Can be a fairly tense 3-minute period for Country. Sydney have got the ball. Bridge. Slips it to MacArthur. He gets out of a high one. Elwyn comes back at him. On it goes to O'Connor. O'Connor weaving his way through, 5 metres out. So a great chance for the Sydney team here to score. Back to Carney. Just 12 metres out. Hogan made the tackle. Anderson back to MacArthur, on through Bridge. It's lost on the ground, and it's fallen on.
It's a Country ball. Steve McGuirter's dived on the ball, and I'd say they'll just run from dummy half now and play out the final 2.5 minutes. Although, of course, they're going to have to kick. They're going to have to do more than just run from dummy half with that period of time left.
Doing it safely, Taylor. Robert Taylor keeping that ball stuck to his chest. Gibson's had a big game, makes another fine run. Slips the short pass to Douglas, near halfway. Oh, that was a mess.
Yes.
Threw the ball forward after losing his footing. Would have been better off just holding onto it.
Yes, well, just kicking it out on the full, anything to waste a bit of time.
And just under 2 minutes left on the clock. Sydney need to win this scrum to stay in the hunt. MacArthur's got it. Back to Bridge. O'Connor standing a long way away. Good
3
step.
on 2 now.
Out to Ella. Ella over halfway.
See the Countryside are
Pass
chasing.
out wide to
Robert.
Anderson.
Countryside are chasing very well. They can see how determined and keen they are. They're covering. They're running as though it was the first 10 minutes of the game and not the last 2.
6 points the difference. A minute and a half to go. Out wide to Carney. Carney trying to bust them. Sets it up for Bolt. Gives it back to MacArthur. Good pass goes on to Mears. Mears stands up. It's gone out to Ryan. He throws a long ball. This could be a chance. Taylor fires it to Ferguson. An awkward looking pass. Ferguson's managed to pick it up. He got a boot to it. There was no knock on. Under a minute left. Across the ruck it goes to Bolt. Out through Ryan. Long ball. Finds Mears. Mears is down. 50 seconds left. Last tackle for Sydney. They're down by 6 points. Ella fires it. O'Connor through. He's stepping. He needs support. He's got Carney. He's tackled. Last tackle. Inches short of the line. And perhaps that was Sydney's last chance. It's a handover of possession. And Country's defence is held out. And that last tackle has probably won them the game now. 15 seconds left. Gibson going up. They're just soaking up the time. There's not much of it left. Taylor. And that's about it. It's full time, and look at the Country boys. Delirious with excitement. They've had a great win here today. Down 10-2 at half-time. They've come back to win 28-22. And the man of the match was the hooker from North Newcastle, who had a blinder here today, Rex Wright. He's the Winfield man of the match. Welcome to Southern States viewers. There's Johnny King, coach of the Country Seconds, being carried from the field by his players after Country have scored an excellent win here by 6 points, 28-22. They were down 10-2 at half-time, and the small crowd here have seen some very entertaining action. And the details for Country: Gibson 2 tries, Wicks and Wright 1 each. Neville Elwyn kicked 6 goals from 8 attempts. For City, Ferguson, Tunks, Anderson and O'Connor tries. Ella kicked a goal and O'Connor 2. Country took the scrums 11-7 and the penalties went their way 15-9. So we're going to have the first match here in a few minutes, but while we're waiting for that, we're going to go over to Gary Cook, who's talking with Roy Masters.
So to Roy Masters for that excellent coverage of the seconds match that went live to New South Wales and Queensland, and the other states have joined us now, and we've got the Sydney Firsts coming out onto the field